I'm doing it for my daughter.
Do you guys know what that is, or did you forget about that already? The clip is impossible to find now. That's why the Google search results have gotten way worse. Have we talked about that already?
No, never.
Did we mention that?
We've never talked about
Have you tried searching for things? Are you aware of this?
I always Google John Podesta
Right.
maker, director, child director.
When you're building your
And
barn.
actor.
To build your barn.
Yeah, because that's how you do the best plaster. I learned the best plaster shelving ideas.
But even if you even if you're looking for something innocuous, as long as it's something semi-specific, the search results now are terrible.
Are they?
Yeah, and the reason for it is, you know who Corey Doctorow is? Corey Doctorow is a computer. He's a technologist guy, and he's he has a lot of good ideas about what's going to go wrong with computers. But he's also like a anti-Trump libtard kind of guy. His thinking is kind of like you have to suss out what he's thinking about what he's thinking as he's thinking it, because a lot of it's like help Ukraine type shit. Like, what are we going to use? How are we going to use computers to help Ukraine? But the other half of it is like stuff like talking about how computers are basically being turned into appliances, and that's done. There is a streak of like so. For example, it has to do with everything becoming a computer and people becoming less computer literate, and with the general population, including third worlders and people who don't know, who wouldn't ever know how to use a computer, need to learn how to use a computer. And the way they do that is by making the buttons more simple, brighter,
Bigger,
happier,
easier.
And so you think about it, like even a car, all cars nowadays are computers.
Yeah.
And but you wouldn't know it if you got in, because the people that designing the user interface are deliberately obscuring it, obviously, because customers would, you don't want to hop in your Tesla and see a Linux command prompt with like have to type shit out. You want touchscreen, so you want a touchscreen.
/drive.
Right, yeah.
Drive into wall. It's like auto load program.
But the sort of like negative consequence of that is in the future, there's going to be less and less people who are truly computer literate, and it's going to be like a cultural norm that you shouldn't like go deep into your computer and tinker around. You shouldn't know what's going on behind the scenes. You shouldn't have access to. You shouldn't even be able to access a command prompt. Like in 10 years or 15 years, it'll be absurd. Like, you want to access the command prompt? Why do you want to do that for? That's absurd. Like, just build it in Rush. And it's like the user interface is like you drag the buttons that you want here, and it's like this.
It's fine.
It's like a glossy circle.
So like what people initially hated about Apple.
Yes. So anyway, that's one of the points that Corey Doctorow makes, and another one of the things that I talked to him briefly about, but he does not like me because I'm a Trump supporter. Like, I literally don't care that he's like the gayest guy that exists, that he's fucking got a rainbow pride. I wanted to talk to him about fucking computers, and he's like, I know you're a Trump supporter, I can't do that. But one of the things, okay, so people say, why are search results getting worse? Oh, it's advertising. No, it's not advertising. The search results are getting worse. It's sort of similar to the Common Core math thing. The point of Common Core is not to uplift black people and uplift people who are struggling with math. It's to dumb down the kids who actually can grasp math, so that your criteria that you're evaluating kids on is less about whether they're good at math and more whether they're good at following rules. So the search results thing, it's been deliberately made worse so that narratives that are counter to the main accepted narrative automatically get suppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza, obviously, if you ever try to search for pizza, it's like nothing comes up anymore. Can we go to google.com and search for pizza?
They're like this. Do you want Gates? We have Pizarro Gate Company.
Yeah, exactly.
We have Gates Pizza Company.
yeah.
That's Bill Gates' pizza company out in.
So it's, of course there'll be
fake news. Esquire's third. Rolling Stone is one. I liked what Rolling Stone did with the what's that writer that got his head smashed into the wall there? That was fun.
Oh, the Michael
Hastings.
Michael Hastings. Yeah.
Michael Hastings. They were good about that.
The fakes. So look, this is curated. This is exactly these are the articles that I would pick if I had done P and I was guilty in P. And I would pick these articles to talk about.
I'd be like, please put the Esquire. Let's start with Esquire and Rolling Stone. Those are my boys over there. And then let's do the Vox article. And then New York Times probably did something. Conspiracy theory thrives. Okay, thrives anew.
But it's all like big enough that something has to come up. So they have the official, the BBC, the NBC News, the NPR.org, all the official takes come up when you search for pizza. But there are other things that are not big enough that they need a response. Like there's other things that you can if you're interested in them, you can look up and they don't need to give you the response. But the side effect of that is that it's become next to impossible to search for anything with any type of like specificity.
How about like Michael Hastings' uncharred beer cans?
What's that?
Those are the uncharred beer cans on the outside of his SL500 that has drive-by-wire. That has drive-by-wire. That his car was erratically driving 130 miles an hour that no one would ever do in a place you couldn't even drive 135. You know that thing you were talking about, robotic cars, where you were like you could drive like a maniac, and then there's a way when a computer would drive like a maniac, and a computer driving like a fucking maniac would do way crazier shit than you would. You know what I'm saying? When it was just like throttle, like that's all the car knows, like through a cemetery, like just like it would do. You wouldn't even think that.
Do you remember the flight sim that we were in?
Yes.
You remember how the voice was like bank left, bank left? Like that's what the computer would be like telling itself to do.
Yeah.
Throttle.
Higher.
Left.
Increase throttle 10%. Increase throttle 10%. Increase throttle 10%. Increase. You can hear it. You can hear the guy like driving it. It's like this. Increase throttle 10%. Then you're doing 160 miles an hour in a 12 in like a bank drive-through. I love that. Like I love like a mall 5 mile an hour zone and a car's doing 160 through it. Like like before the wheels get ripped off. Anyway, Michael Hastings, car blows up, transmission yanked right out of the car, like fucking totally fucked up, right on the outside of it. 10 unburned. I mean, the car's burnt. The guy was burnt like he was like he looked like a prop at like Treasure Island. Like he was like, ah! Like fucking like skeleton bone. Like, help me! That's a writer for Rolling Stone that said, told his sister, I'm going to die. I'm running. I'm going to die. They're going to kill me.
He found some info.
Yeah. It was always, whatever he found was.
I don't even remember what it was. It was some Clinton
It was Clinton stuff, I think. Or it was spy shit.
But his name was Michael Hastings. He found some info and he got
torched.
Drive-by-wire.
And outside his car, that everything was burnt. There were some unburned beer cans that were we're supposed to believe that he drank 12. That's how geniuses die.
He was not knocking back Bud Levies.
Let me go grab some Bud Lights. Man, I'm so bummed about this worldwide Pope-driven. I better wash it back with a cool 12-pack of Bud Light in my SL 550. Fucking bullshit. Like if that'd be like me finding Bud Lights in your car.
Yeah.
Like, I know Sam always loved Bud Light. One thing I knew about old Sam Hyde, that guy loved his fucking Coors.
Anheuser-Busch.
Just his red old Bud Heavies.
Yeah.
A 30-pack. That's what he would buy. Fucking unbelievable. So the suppression of search results for these non-specific types.
Yeah, so what happens is, I mean, the trickle down is that if you're not doing conspiracy theory research, even if you're just trying to be a regular guy and solve a problem with
abortion rates,
Adobe Premiere, not even something that's narrative related, Adobe Premiere, what type of charger do you use on a A7S3 for the NFZ 100 battery? Would you like to try? Did you mean Rick and Morty NFZ time machine? Like it's impossible to find anything specific. So what you get is like you just get a slightly
Perillo Tours, Tel Aviv.
You get a slightly more mainstream version of what you were looking for that doesn't answer your question. Like you get the fucking next time I have a specific example, I'll write it down. What's Joey, what's going on with you?
Moving.
Joey moved into a new place. Did you see it?
I did. I saw.
Cool.
You told me about it. It's exciting.
It's nice.
balling out now.
I'm in there, yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's it.
Just shit for a few weeks until you get all those boxes undone.
We got most of it, so we don't have much stuff. We're pretty minimal. The only thing is the ceilings being high. It's just so reverby in there. Like trying to like make music or anything like that. So that's my big thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something.
Mattress studio.
Yeah, like egg crates, egg cartons on the wall.
Yeah. Kind of fun to build though.